Hare Krishna viewers and welcome to this channel. In this video, I will be teaching you the chapter The Sermon at Benaras. This is the one short lecture of this chapter, and in one short lecture you will be covering this whole chapter in detail. Now let's get started with this chapter. So this chapter is about one man. The man name is Gautama Buddha. Okay? So this is the time period of Gautam Buddha. So please remember his time period is 563 BC to 483 BC. BC means before Jesus Christ. Okay, before the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay. So I wanted to tell you that please remember his time period, because sometimes it comes in the MCQs format that what is the time period of Gautam Buddha. So you have to mark these. Okay. So now let's get started. So Gautam Buddha started his life as a prince. When he started his life as a prince, his name was Siddhartha Gautama. Okay, he was born in the northern India side. When he was 12 years old, he was sent away for the schooling to study the Hindu sacred scriptures. Now, most of you will ask that what is Hindu sacred scriptures? If I say you in Hindi, then Hindu sacred scriptures means Granth. Okay, some very very old scriptures of the ancient period time is called Hindu sacred scriptures. Okay, now when he after 4 years later, when he was 16 years old, he came back to his home and married a princess. Okay, when he was 16 years old, or you can say 4 years later, he came back to his home and married a princess. In this book, princess name is not mentioned, so no need to learn it. Okay, now when he came back, he married to a princess. After some time, he had a son, and the Gautam Buddha lived with his family for the 10 years very happily in a very royalty way. Okay, in the very royal way, he lived with his family for the 10 years. Please remember, for the 10 years, you should always remember the time. Okay. At about the age of 25, the princess herefore shielded from the suffering of the world. Okay. Now the question, see, let me tell you this, the thing which I'm going to tell you is not in the book, but I am telling you. See, when Gautam Buddha was born so there was one bhavishyavani was done that he will become a very spirituality high monk. So his father was scared that I don't want him to be this. So what he did, he covered the Gautam Buddha from all the sufferings of the world. Okay, so Gautam Buddha was sheltered from the sufferings of the world. Read this line now. At about the age of 25, the prince herefore shielded from the suffering of the world. Gautam Buddha don't know. When he was 25 years old he don't know that what is the suffering of the world, what are the sufferings. He doesn't know these all the things till 25 years old. Like we know the sufferings when we got hurt, how is the pain, but Gautam Buddha don't know this much till 25 years. Okay, so now come back to the story. Now some part I tell you about this chapter, that till 25 years old Gautam Buddha don't know about the suffering of the world. His father kept sheltered him from the sufferings. Okay, now when Gautam Buddha was 25 years old, he went to hunting. Hunting means, like in Hindi if I say, hunting means shikar karna, to kill animals. Okay, so he went for the hunting, and when he went for a hunting changed upon sick man, then is aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. Okay, now see, when Gautam Buddha went for the hunting, there he saw 4 things. One is the sick man he saw, then aged man, then a funeral procession, and at last a monk begging for alms. A monk begging for alms means that एक साधु भिक्षा मांग रहा है. Okay, this is the meaning of a monk begging for alms. So when Gautam Buddha was 25 years old, he went for hunting. You can make a short notes like this. Okay, and in hunting he saw a sick man, aged man, funeral procession, and a monk begging for alms. Now when he saw these things, his sights were moved. Okay, now let's read from here. Once he went out in the world seek enlightenment. When he saw these four things, the aged man, sick man, funeral procession, a monk begging for alms, when he saw these things, when he saw these four things, everything was changed of Gautam Buddha. Then he finally went, he came out of his home and went to seek the enlightenment. He went into the world to seek enlightenment. Now, what is enlightenment? Let us see the meaning of enlightenment. Come on. A state of high spirituality knowledge. Enlightenment means a very, very high spirituality knowledge is called enlightenment. Okay. Sometimes the meaning is asked in the MCQ format, that what is the meaning of enlightenment. So students, you should remember this. Okay. Now let me revise. Let me recall you again that enlightenment means a very high spirituality knowledge is the meaning of enlightenment. Okay. After seeing these four things, Gautam Buddha went to seek the enlightenment in the world. Okay, now what happened? Gautam Buddha wandered for the 7 years. He wandered here and there for about 7 years. Remember this time period, okay? He wandered for the 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree. After wandering 7 years, like after roaming here and there searching for the enlightenment, he wandered for like this 7 years and then finally he sat down under a peepal tree. Okay, then when he sat down under a peepal tree, he vowed to stay until enlightenment came to him. He vowed to stay. He vowed meaning is, if I say in Hindi, the vowed meaning is किसी चीज को ठान लेना. उन्होंने ठान लिया गौतम बुद्धा ने कि अब जब तक एनलाइटमेंट नहीं आती ना, मैं ऐसे उठूंगा ही नहीं. सो गौतम बुद्धा वोप दैट अंटिल एनलाइटमेंट केम आई विल नॉट गेट अप फ्रॉम हियर. ओके, नाउ एनलाइटमेंट आफ्टर 7 days, एंड what a magic came. Enlightenment came after just 7 days. After 7 days, enlightenment came to Gautam Buddha. So, it's looking like a magic if you see, students, right? Yeah. Please remember, when Gautam Buddha he saw a sick man. Okay. Then an aged man. Then a funeral procession. Then he saw a monk begging for alms. After seeing these 4 things, Buddha went for the enlightenment. Okay, if means enlightenment. Then for the 7 years he wandered here and there, and finally then he sat under a peepal tree, and enlightenment came to him under a peepal tree within 7 days. Please remember these things until here. Alright students, now let's move forward. Okay, enlightenment after 7 days. He renamed the tree the Bodhi tree. Now what Gautam Buddha sat down under a peepal tree he vowed that until enlightenment came, I will not get up from here. So he sat down there, and within the 7 days, enlightenment came to Gautam Buddha. Now what Gautam Buddha did, he renamed the peepal tree to Bodhi tree. He renamed the peepal tree to Bodhi tree. What Bodhi means? Bodhi means tree of wisdom. Okay, Bodhi tree means tree of wisdom. And began to teach, to share his new understanding. Then after this, enlightenment came to him. After that, he began to teach and share his understanding related to the world. At that point, he became to known as the Buddha. The Buddha means see. After this point, Buddha was known as the Buddha only. Okay, after enlightenment came to him, he started sharing his understanding, his teachings. After that, people kept his name Buddha. And what the Buddha means? Buddha means the awakened or the enlightenment. Enlightenment meaning is also what? A high spirituality knowledge, and enlightenment also means the same, and awakened also means the same, the high spirituality knowledge. Okay students, now let's move forward. I hope you understood till here. The Buddha preached his first sermon at the city of Benaras, most holy dipping place on the river Gangas. The most sermon has been preserved is given here. It reflects the Buddha wisdom about one's inscrutable kind of suffering. Now, Gautam Buddha gave his first sermon where? At the city of Benaras. Now, what is the meaning of sermon? Sermon means a very high knowledge. Okay, a very, very high knowledge means sermon. So Gautam Buddha gave his first sermon where? In the city of Benaras. Remember these This question can also come in the form of MCQs in your exam, that where did Gautam Buddha gave his first sermon. So Gautam Buddha gave his first sermon in the city of Benaras. Okay. Now Benaras is the holy place. We all know this, right? Dipping place, river. Ganga is there. Very pure river, right? Ganga Maiya ki jai. That sermon had been preserved and is given here. Now the sermon was given here. Okay. Buddha's wisdom about inscrutable kind of serving. Now Buddha was having a a very high knowledge about the world suffering. Okay, he gave his knowledge about the world suffering in the city of Benaras. It was his first sermon. Now let's move forward. Now story is getting more interesting, right? Okay, now we will talk about Kisa Gautami. Who is Kisa Gautami? So Kisa Gautami was a lady who was only having a one child, and one child who was his son, and the son was died. See, Kisa Gautami, there was one Kisa Gautami, one lady. He was handling only a son, and the son was died. Okay. In the grief, she carried the dead, the child, all the neighbors asking them for medicine, and the people said she has lost her senses. The boy's death. Okay, when Kisa Gautami was having only one child and the boy was dead, Kisa Gautami carried his child. Carried his child to neighbors and asking the neighbors that please give me medicine, but the people was saying that she has lost her senses, the boy is dead. Okay, let's assume that this is Kisa Gautami. Okay, a girl, Kisa Gautami, she has a baby boy. Okay, she's carrying her baby and asking from the people, please give him medicine, and what people are saying she has lost her senses, the boy is dead. People are saying this to Kisa Gautami.